Welcome back. Right after Kate Snow reported here on Rock Center about the frightening problem of concussions in girls' soccer, we heard from a lot of parents of players worried about their daughter's safety. And we heard from a maker of a soccer headgear saying his product could help. So Kate decided to put his claims to the test, largely because the stakes are high here. Only boys football has more reported concussions. And so many people are just now realizing girls' soccer is every bit a contact sport.
Natasha Helmick was a soccer superstar.
Good job, Tosh!
Her raw talent obvious very early on.
You were good.
I was pretty good.
You were out there
yes.
as a 4-year-old, trapping the ball, turning it.
Heading it, too. I headed the ball.
Get it, baby! Take it up!
Youth soccer turned to club soccer. She even made the Olympic development team in Texas. But then, at 12, a shattering moment.
I went up for a header, and a girl came from my left side, and she just speared me in my temple with her head. It just hit me hard, and I went down, and I got up, and I looked up, and from my left eye, I couldn't see out of my left eye. Everything's black.
That was your first concussion?
Yes, that was my very first one. And I didn't even know what it was at the time.
That was 8 years ago, well before the wave of concussion awareness in sports. Her parents, Mickey and Bob, were on the sidelines.
How worried are you?
We were very worried.
So worried that Mickey went online in search of an answer.
I think I just probably Googled head protection for soccer players. But I just remember seeing that it helps protect against head injuries, lessens impact, and I thought this is something I need to get for my daughter.
It was a full 90 headgear being worn by players of all ages, 500,000 sold online and from sporting goods stores. The headband costs between $25 and $45 and promises soccer players they can stay in the game and reduce the probability of a concussion by over 50%.
The benefit of wearing our headgear is that it significantly reduces the impact forces reaching your head.
Jeff Skeen, a former sports helmet manufacturer, is the man behind Full 90 Sports. He says he's had more than 20 concussions himself, riding motorcycles and playing sports. He came up with the headband after his own daughter suffered concussions playing soccer.
I thought to myself, well, there's a simple biomechanical solution to that, and that is put something soft in between the two hard objects that are going to hit each other. So I decided to make her just a padded headband.
Just for her?
Just for her.
Soon, other players wanted them, and 10 years ago, Skeen went into business.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, this is it. Pretty old, kind of got sweat on it right here. When I saw it, I was just like, anything to prolong my career is what I was thinking. So if this is going to help me, I'll wear it.
Did you ever go on the field without the headband?
No. Even to go kick the ball around with my friends, always brought it.
Number 8, Tasha Helmick.
Natasha says the headband made her feel like she could play more aggressively.
So you're out there, I mean, you're sure you were playing harder because you're wearing the headband?
Oh, yeah. I had extra confidence, man. I had extra boost of confidence. I was ready to go. I went out there and played so much harder.
My problem with the headbands is that they're primarily marketed as a concussion reduction device. That is something that there is no proof that they are.
Dr. Bob Cantu, a neurosurgeon and leading concussion researcher, also serves as vice president of the organization that approves football helmets.
Well, I think the first thing you see is that it's very thin. It's less than 1/2 inch in thickness. And the second thing is just with my thumb and my finger, I can make it bottom out. I can squeeze it. So you can understand that you can't take a very hard blow without this bottoming out. When it bottoms out, it's providing no protection at all.
We called a dozen other top concussion experts, and they all agreed that while the full 90 may protect against cuts and bruises, there's no convincing evidence to support the claim it reduces the risk of concussions.
How many more concussions after you got the headband?
5, at least. Yeah, 5 that I went to the doctor for.
At least 5 concussions wearing the full 90 headband?
Full 90, yes.
One of Natasha's agonizing concussions was actually caught on tape.
Oh! Yes, there's a girl right behind me. She hits me in the back of my head, my lower part of my head, near my neck.
Oh! Thank
And you see my head just jostle forward. My head just I lean forward.
And you grab your head.
Yes, I grab my head. I lean down. I don't really remember, but I just remember hearing ringing. I couldn't see anything, but I just remember holding my head, and I'm just grimacing in pain. And I'm just hurting so bad.
You were putting a lot of faith, right, in something you researched online.
Exactly. And I think that's probably, looking back in hindsight, we realized that to put that much emphasis on a product to help protect our daughter from concussions really didn't pan out, didn't work.
But the maker of the Full 90 says it does protect the player in a head-to-head hit.
I can't look at you eye to eye and say that's going to eliminate all soccer concussions. But what I can tell you is that I believe that it reduces the risk by about 50%.
When we called 12 doctors, the leading doctors in their field, these are concussion experts all over the country, a dozen of them, they all said, we're sorry, but there's not enough scientific evidence that headbands reduce the probability of a concussion.
I think they're right. There is not enough evidence. I'd like there to be more evidence. And that's what I want. I want indisputable evidence. Kate, I'm here to try to reduce head injuries, not sell product.
Is it legitimate for you to be putting all these claims on your website and having moms and dads read all this material that indicate that it does make a difference when there really isn't the evidence there?
No, you've got that wrong, Kate. I hate to completely and totally disagree. Every claim that we're making is indeed accurate.
On their own packaging, it says reduces typical impact forces by up to 50%.
Yes, this was a study that they paid for. They did in their own laboratories. It's a non-peer-reviewed study.
Every parent's going to think this is going to protect my kid from the concussions that we've been hearing about.
Yes, and it won't.
Dr. Cantu is one of the smartest people I know, and so I would not challenge what he was saying. I would just say, Bob, you have not been in a laboratory. Come to a laboratory and let's show you some benefit.
This is your lab that you're talking about, right? Or a lab that you hired?
Yes. I mean, and we'll use any lab. I don't care. Tell any of the doctors to pick any lab they want.
I want to understand this because on the Full 90 box, so we went and we bought one in New Jersey. On the back of the box, it says here, reduces typical impact forces by up to 50%.
That's correct. And we stand absolutely by everything that it says.
Natasha says she's had so much damage from her concussions, it can be hard for her to read. Look what happened when we handed her the Full 90 box.
Right there. This is typical.
Here, I'll read it to you. It says reduces typical impact forces by up to 50%.
Is that a joke? I feel like that's false information, honestly. That's, you know, I don't feel like this protected me 50% at all. Wow.
And experts we spoke to fear there may be an unintended consequence of wearing the headband.
The individual has this false sense of security that now the headband's going to protect them so they can play.
You would think it would be the opposite. You would think that they're wearing the headband and therefore they're protected, but what you're saying is they're actually at more risk.
They're at more risk because they're playing with greater abandon.
I was praying that you'd bring up the aggressive play argument. If you look at ski helmets, the ski area operators were against ski helmets because they said skiers are going to ski faster and more recklessly. If you can go down the line.
So you think it's a bogus argument. In fact, on your website, you call it a myth.
Yes, and I believe it is a myth.
But even the players Skeen introduced us to showcase his product said otherwise.
Like, I can be aggressive and do the things I want without having the risk of getting a concussion. And it's definitely what, like, all the coaches are looking for, so that's good. Aggressiveness.
For Natasha, there's no more soccer. Her playing days are over.
All those years you're wearing the headband, do you think it's protecting you?
I thought so, yeah, but wasn't the case.
As long as the individual understands what the headband can do and can't do, I don't have any problem with a person wearing a headband. But if they think that that headband is going to protect them against significant concussion, they're wrong, and that's a danger.
So, Kate Snow, false sense of security argument aside, there's equipment in life and there's big Volvos you can drive around in as a human. There's also things you can do to your vessel, to your body, to strengthen you again, equipment aside, for this game.
Right. And actually, one point I really want to make, because I think parents are going to walk away from this going, well, then what do I do?
Right.
Here's the thing. You can neck strengthening exercises. It sounds silly, but girls doing more to strengthen their neck muscles can, Dr. Cantu says, make more difference than any product out there. We have an instructional video for that on our website. Also, there's a test that you can take now, a baseline test where you give it to a girl when she's healthy and see where the brain activity is, and then if she has a concussion, go back and test her again. You can use that, doctors use that to figure out when you're healthy again to go back into the game, kind of like an EKG for your heart.
My high school football coach was maniacal about neck strengthening. He thought it was the key to everything. Any update on Natasha since what we just saw?
A couple of years ago, she went to college. She's now gone back home to live with her family, found college a little too academically rigorous for her, but she's doing better than she had been, and she's surrounded by her family now, and looking forward to going to community college.
Great piece of reporting. Again, Kate Snow, thank you.